And learner is given the sketch alongside shows the graph of f of x. And then the point that you are given is 1:2, which is only what? A stationary point. Now, I want us to do these two questions concurrently so that you'll see the difference between the two. With this one here, look at this one here. This one, you could do it like the approach that I'm going to use with number one. But here, a learner is given the turning point, which is 2:0. Not only that, they're also given 3:1:6. So here they're given a turning point and another point. So I'm going to say this one I'm going to use intercept. For this one, I'm going to use intercept because I'm given a point and a what and the turning point, which is also what? An x-intercept. With this one here, I can't use the intercept. This one doesn't work. With this one here, I can't use the fact that I have y, which is going to be a open bracket x minus x1, because I don't have the intercepts. Can you see that again? But I'm only given what? The turning point. The turning point is only a turning point. It's not a turning point and an x-intercept. It's just a turning point. So if you are given such a question with only a turning point, I think the best way to do it is this way. You are going to say that you have this point. We are going to call it stationary point, which is point S. And then we're also going to call another one, which is S prime. S prime says we are at the turning point. We have x being 1, but our gradient is going to be equal to what? To 0. So those are the 2 points that we have. First, we're going to start by subbing S. Sub S. If you sub S, it says which y is 2. According to S, what is y? It's 2. When y is 2, what is x? So you're going to have a to the power of 1 all cubed minus 9 multiplied by 1 all squared plus b multiplied by 1 multiplied by what? By minus 3. And then from here onwards, I'm going to have 2, which is going to be equal to a minus 9 plus b minus 3. Do you have like terms? Yeah. We do have like terms again. It's minus 9 minus 3. They give us minus 9 minus 3, they give us minus 12. And then you take this one to this other side, it says you have 14 minus b, which is going to be what? To be a. I'm going to call this one equation number what? Number 1. Do you see how did I go there? Okay. Now that we're there, we can then go and use point prime. How to use point prime? We are going to say we are going to use S with a prime. As long as you see prime, you can't use the original equation. You're going to use the what? The derivative. So if you use the derivative, it says you're going to have f prime of x, which is going to be given as 3ax squared minus 18x plus b. Now, when x is equal to 1, what is our gradient? When x is equal to 1, what is our gradient? 0. So I'm going to say 0 is equal to 3a multiplied by 1 all squared. Minus 18 multiplied by 1 plus b. 0 is going to be equal to 3a minus 18 plus b. This is going to be equation number 1, number 2. Sub 1 into 2. We have 0, which is going to be equal to 3 open bracket 14 minus b minus 18 plus b. 0 is going to be equal to 3 times 14. 42. So we have 42 minus 3b minus 18 plus b. And then what you get for that one? Is that? Yeah, if you continue with this one, we say you get a. So this one and this one is going to give us minus 2b plus 24. Then we take the 24 to the other side. It says minus 24 is going to be minus 2b. divide by 2, divide by 2. It says B is going to be equal to what? 12. And then we have 14 minus 12, which is going to be 8. What is going to be our A therefore? It's 2. Did they say we should just determine the values of A and B or determine the equation? What did they say? A and B. Yeah, if they said A and B, we are going to stop here. How they mark something like this in an examination? It's going to be 1 mark for equation number 1, 1 mark for equation number 2, subing equation, 1 mark, B it's 1 mark, and then A is also 1 mark. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are looking at 5 marks for being able to do something like this. Now, at the same time, I want us to go to this one here. How would I approach this one? This one, yes, I'm given a turning point. I could approach it that way, but I'm saying to learners, I'm not advising you to do it that way. I'm saying the simplest way to do this one is to say we are going to have Y, which is going to be minus 1. That is my A. Do you see where I get the minus 1? Here's the minus 1 here. Everyone? So the value before x cubed, I would consider it to be, usually it's called A, but in this case, they want us to find A here. So it's fine. So we'll say which we have the value before x cubed is minus 1. And then I'm going to say to them, I have x minus, this is going to be my x1. Do you know what is x1? You don't know. Do you know what is x1? You don't know. So we are simply going to call it P. Let's call it point P, this one. We don't know anything about it. So we'll say which we have P, which goes with what? With 0. So I'm going to tell them I have P, x minus. I know what is x2. What is x2? It's 2. So I'm going to say x2 all squared because it's going to repeat itself 2 times. Why is it repeating itself 2 times? Because it's an x-intercept. It's also what? A turning point. Does that make sense? So in this case, I'm going to use this point here to find what is this P. I'm going to tell them I have minus 6, which is going to be minus 1 again. And then I'm going to have 3 minus P. And then I'm also going to have 3 minus 2 all squared. And then if you continue with this thing here, it says you have this one and this one gives us 1. And then after that, you have minus 1 again. So you have minus 1 multiplied by 3 is going to give us minus 3. Negative multiplied by plus P. Take the 3 to this other side. It says you have minus 6 plus 3, which is going to be equal to what? To P. Then it means which our P is going to be equal to what? Minus 3. So we know what is this point. This point here is going to be equal to what? Minus 3. Are we still fine? Then we can then say we have Y, which is going to be minus 1, x plus 3, x minus 2 all squared. Then we can say minus 1, open bracket, we have x plus 3. And then work with this one, is going to give us x squared again. Minus 4x plus 4, close bracket. And then we are going to FOIL match. Before we use the minus 1 is still outside. Minus 1, open a bigger bracket. And then if you open a bigger bracket, you can have this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one. Then what are we going to have? X cubed. Minus 4x squared plus 4x. Okay, usually the green is not visible, but we'll try it. Okay, so we have this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one multiplied by this one. It says we have plus 3x squared minus 12x plus 12, like this. And then after that, we have like terms. We have minus 1, which is outside. Bigger bracket. We have x cubed. This one and this one, they are going to give us minus x squared. This one and this one, they're going to give us minus 8x plus 12. Anything which is positive becomes negative. Anything which is negative is going to become what? Positive. So we're going to have something like this. Minus x cubed plus x squared plus 8x minus 12. Therefore, it means which our A is going to be 1. Our B is going to be equal to what? To 8. Could you do it exactly the way I did question number 1? Yes, you could do it this way. You could do it this way and tell them which you have a point and then you also have a point prime. Or you can use these 2 points. You can use 0 is to 2. And then you can also use 3 is to what is to minus 6. I'm sure you have two variables. Oh, you have 3. You have 3 variables. When you differentiate, this one is going to fall off. So you'll use a point for this one, you'll use a point for this one, and then you'll also use point prime so that you can have 3 sets of equations. But I think the simplest way is this one. You'll decide which one works best for you.